Hello, students. Welcome back to revision time. I hope you all are safe and healthy. So, earlier we saw the cell, the fundamental unit of life in biology. Then we covered matter in our surroundings in chemistry. So, today I am going to start with motion, that is, first concept of physics. So, what is motion? An object is said to be in motion if its position changes with time. So to describe the position of an object, we need to specify a reference point, and this is called its origin. So let us consider this straight line as a journey of an object x. So this object starts its journey from O, that is the origin, and goes to B, then A, then C, and somewhere else then. So we see here with time the position of object is changing, and hence we can say the object x is in motion. So the total path length covered by an object is said to be its distance traveled, and the shortest path measured from the initial point to the final point on object is known as its displacement. So now let's go to the school, and I assume some of you are missing your schools. So this is your house, and this is the bus stop, and this here is the school. So the distance between your house and bus stop is 1 kilometer, and that of bus stop and school is 4 kilometer, right? So you woke up in the morning, got ready, and you went to the bus stop covering the distance of 1 kilometer, and then to the school covering 4 kilometer. Then in the afternoon again you came back to bus stop and back to your home covering 4 and 1 kilometer. So what is the distance traveled by you? In the whole journey, the distance traveled by you was 1 kilometer plus 4 plus 1 plus 1, right? So 10 kilometer. You covered 10 kilometer. And now what is the displacement? Your displacement was 0 because your initial position and final position was same, because you started from home, went to bus stop, went to the school, and came back to your home. So your initial position and static position was same, hence the displacement is 0. But if we consider only your half journey, that is the journey from your home to the school only, then the distance traveled is 1 kilometer plus 4 kilometer, that is 5, and the displacement is also 5 because your initial position and final position is different, and the shortest distance is the 5 kilometers, right? Hence we can say that the displacement can be 0 but the distance can never be 0. Okay, so the numerical value of a physical quantity is its magnitude. We studied earlier the distance traveled by you was 10 kilometers, so the magnitude of distance is 10 here. So now what is the uniform motion and what is non-uniform motion? When the object covers equal distance in equal intervals of time, then it is said to be uniform motion. For example, in a car, you are covering 10 km in 1 hour, 20 in 2 hour, 30 in 3 hour. So practically you are covering 10 km per hour. So this is the uniform motion. Whereas in non-uniform motion, the object covers unequal distances in equal interval of time, right? So here you are covering 10 kilometer in 1 hour, 15 in second hour, and 23 in third hour. So this is a non-uniform motion. Practically there are non-uniform motions and uniform motion is very less. So now what is speed? Speed is the distance traveled by an object in a unit time is known as speed, and the SI unit of speed is meter per second, or we can write it as meter per second inverse, right? So if we are given the quantity, the value in kilometer per hour, and we have to convert in the SI unit, that is meter per second, the shortcut method is to multiply it by 5 by 18. For example, you are given 20 kilometer per 2 hour and you have to convert it into the meter per second. You just need to multiply it by 5 and 18 and you will get this value, right? So now what is average speed? It is the ratio of total distance traveled by time traveled. Okay, So for example, car is covering 10 in 1 hour, 15 kilometer in 2 hour, and 25 in third hour. So what is the average speed here? So we will uh, we will take the total distance travel and total time taken, and we will find the ratio of it, right? So the next concept is velocity. So now what is velocity? It is the speed of an object moving in a definite direction. It can be a uniform variable, and it can be changed by changing the object's speed or the direction, or both. If we change the speed of an object or its direction, or we change both, the velocity of of the object also changes. The SI unit of velocity is same as speed, that is meter per second. And what is average velocity? It is the arithmetic mean of initial velocity and final velocity of a given period of time. So this is the formula. Here u is the initial velocity, v is the final velocity, and these are the two quantities, so 2. Acceleration is the rate of change of velocity, or we can say it is the change in velocity of an object per unit time, right? So acceleration A is v minus u by t. V minus u is the change in velocity, right? So v here is the final velocity, u is the initial velocity, and t is time. So acceleration can be positive or negative. So if acceleration is in the direction of motion only, then it is positive, and if it is in the opposite direction, then it is negative. And it can also be uniform or non-uniform. The uniform acceleration is when the velocity increase or decrease by equal amount in equal time intervals. And the non-uniform acceleration is when the velocity changes at non-uniform rate, right? A freely falling body is an example of uniform acceleration, and the example for non-uniform acceleration is if the car traveling along a straight road increases its speed by unequal amounts in equal intervals of time, then it will be in non-uniform acceleration. And the SI unit for acceleration is meter per second square, or we can write it as meter per second square inverse, right? So graphical representation of motion. So the motion can be depicted in graphs also. There are two basic types of graphs, that is distance time graphs and velocity time graphs. So first, distance time graphs. So let us consider the object is moving with the uniform speed. This is the graph with time in x-axis and distance in y-axis, and we can see the graph is a straight line. Uniform speed suggests that the distance traveled by object is directly proportional to time taken. That is, with increase in time, the distance is also covered. We can use distance time graph to determine the speed of an object. We can find out the speed through the distance time graph. But what we have to do, first we have to draw a parallel line to x-axis from A. Let us draw. So this is A and this is x-axis. So parallel line can be drawn like this. This is the parallel line, right? So next, draw a parallel line to y-axis from B. This is B and y-axis, right? Both the lines meet at C. So both the lines are meeting here. We will call it as C. So what we get here? We get a triangle, that is ABC. We get ABC triangle. Here AC is the time interval. AC is time interval. This is the time and this is time interval, right? This is T2 and this is T1. Okay. And BC is distance. BC is distance. This is S2 and S1. So the object moves from A to B. The object moves from A to B to cover the distance S2 minus S1 in time T2 minus T1. Hence, what will be the speed? The speed will be S2 minus S1 over T2 minus T1. So next is when the object is moving in the non-uniform speed. This is the non-linear variation of distance traveled with time. Hence we can see here this graph is not linear. Next are the velocity time graphs. So the velocity time graphs tells the distance traveled. The distance time graph told us the speed. So first is for the uniform motion of car. This is the graph for the uniform motion of car with time in x-axis and velocity in y-axis. So if we want to know distance traveled in time t1 to t2, what we have to do? Draw perpendiculars from points corresponding t1 and t2. These are the points t1 and t2. I have already drawn the perpendiculars. These perpendiculars I have drawn. So AC or BD, they represent velocity. AC is equal to BD and they represent the velocity as it is parallel to y-axis. Similarly, AB or CD, they represent time. So because the AB represent time because it is parallel to x-axis which denote time. So what will be the distance traveled? Distance traveled will be area of rectangle ABCD. Area of rectangle A, B, D and C, right? So what will it be? AC into CD, that is length into breadth, right? So for the uniformly accelerated motion, here accelerated motion is considered. The graph is like this. If the object is moving with uniform velocity, then the distance traveled will be area under ABCD. As we already saw here, if the object is in uniform velocity, the area traveled will be ABCD. Since the magnitude of velocity is changing due to acceleration, then the distance will be area under A, B, C, D and E. So what is forming A, B, C and D? We can see a rectangle here and a triangle here. So we will find the area of a rectangle and a triangle and then add both of this. Then we will get the distance traveled. Area under ABCDE, area of rectangle ABCD plus area of triangle ADE. So this will be the distance traveled for a uniformly accelerated motion through graph. So when an object is moving in a non-uniformly accelerated motion, so what are the graphs? These two are the graphs. So this graph represents the motion of an object whose velocity is decreasing with time, right? The velocity or the speed is decreasing with time. And this graph represents the non-uniform variation of velocity of an object with time, right? So this is the non-uniform variation of velocity of an object. So I hope this was helpful to you all, and the rest of the part I will be covering in the next video, and also I will be making the separate video for the numericals. So press the bell icon for the notifications and do subscribe, like, share and comment. Also the links for the previous videos are in the description box. Thank you.